this sample shows off some of the effects. Go ahead and run it. First of all, we have a smooth Magnify here, which I think it looks so cool. Very configurable what you can do with this one. And it just follows my mouse around. Now, it doesn't have to follow the mouse. It's just I told it to follow the mouse, but you could have it offset instead. The difference between the smooth Magnify and the regular Magnify is the regular Magnify has a hard edge, whereas this one has a soft edge. So it looks like a raindrop running across maybe. I don't know. That's not a good example. Anyway, you see what it looks like right there. The cool thing is, see how it's set up? It's actually magnifying these controls as well as the image. Very cool. I'll show you how we do that here in a second. And notice the checkbox here is not being magnified. It's because I uncheck it, it turns off the magnification. Now you'll notice this switch here has a hot and a shadow. So when I move over it, it turns hot, which I said purple was the hot color, which is an outer glow. So I love the fact that it understands the shape of the switch. So you see the shadow and the hot follows the coloration, or the not the coloration, the lines and stuff that make up the switch. So that's really cool. And here's a checkbox. It doesn't do anything except you check it and uncheck it. But it has a shadow, and again, you notice the shadow actually follows the text. It's not just a blank shadow that, consistent shadow across. It understands what it's creating the shadow for. So let's look at the code. There's not really a lot of code on this. It's all about the effects being applied to it. So switch box here. Here's the glow effect. The glow effect trigger is on mouse over, and then it has a shadow effect that's always enabled. That's it. That's all there is to do those. So if you want to have hot controls, all you do is add a glow effect, and you can change the color if you want to. And you can enable it and see what it looks like at design time. But I'm just having it enabled on mouse over. One note about mouse over is while this works on mobile there is typically not a concept of a mouse. There is exceptions to that. For example, on Android, you can attach a mouse, but so you probably wouldn't use is mouse over if you want to do it on mobile. Checkbox, again, all it has is the shadow effect on it. Now for the smooth Magnify, here he is here. What I have is I have a layout that fills the form, and all the controls are on that layout. Okay, and so the smooth Magnify effect is applied to that layout. Now, if you don't do it that way, if you put the smooth Magnify on the form itself, you notice it goes away. So if you want to animate everything on the form, you have to put it all on a layout. Just the way it works. So no big deal. There it is. Now also, in order to capture the mouse cursor movement, I have another layout here that right now is currently set to visible as false. But then on run in the constructor, right here, we set the visibility to true. And so that layout captures my mouse movement, and it has hit test set to true. And the reason I do that is because the layout here, the one that everything is sitting on, that has the smooth Magnify on it, it'll give me the mouse move cursor events, but not when the mouse moves over the image or the other controls here. So I could put mouse move events here and then translate those from local to absolute, but the easier way, and also the way I decided to do it, was to put the layout over it. And so the layout's over it when the layout is visible as true. Now the layout doesn't have any filling to it, so it's not, when it's visible, you can't actually see it, just it is there, and it's blocking the mouse movement so that it captures all those events. And then here's the mouse move event. All it does is set the smooth Magnify effect center to the point of the mouse move event. That's it. All the code we had to write to do that very cool smooth Magnify event.